Chapter 1. The Cold Embrace. In the desolate winter of 1936, Aomori, Japan lay ensnared in an unforgiving embrace of icy stillness, a stark reflection of the frozen depths that encased Yoshie Shiratori's tormented soul. Unjustly accused of a heinous crime, he found himself imprisoned in the unforgiving confines of Aomori prison, where the biting chill of both the merciless season and the sadistic guards coalesced into a relentless torment. Each night, shackled and battered, Shiratori's mind became a battleground of desperate thoughts, his spirit tested by the looming specter of the death penalty, a malevolent cloud that relentlessly pushed him to the precipice of despair. As the clock struck 5:30 a.m. in the muted stillness of the prison's wintry darkness, Shiratori seized a calculated moment, a clandestine symphony playing out in the shadows. From the hidden recesses of the bathhouse, he clandestinely produced a slender metal wire, a humble artifact that would serve as the key to his liberation. With practiced precision, he embarked on the delicate dance of lockpicking, unraveling the intricate mechanisms that bound him to his frigid cell. The journey to freedom, a perilous odyssey fueled by desperation and tenacity, had begun. Chapter 2. The Dance of Shadows. Navigating through a labyrinth of ominous, locked doors, Yoshie Shiratori's nimble fingers moved with a clandestine grace, their movements guided by an intimate knowledge of the guards' meticulous routines. Each door he conquered was a symbolic triumph over the oppressive confinement of Aomori prison. Yet the unforgiving embrace of the cold gnawed at him, and the ever-present threat of the search perimeter hung like a sword of Damocles, ready to shatter his nascent taste of freedom. As dawn tiptoed on the horizon, Shiratori, with the finesse of a seasoned escape artist, concealed himself beneath a duvet, meticulously arranging a decoy of loose floorboards. The guards, returning to their posts, remained oblivious to the intricate ruse. To their eyes, Shiratori appeared sound asleep, a mirage of tranquility beneath the deceptive cover. In that fleeting moment, the elusive fugitive slipped through the tendrils of captivity, leaving the prison to grapple with the phantom of his absence. Yet, as if scripted by the cruel hand of fate, freedom was a fragile illusion. A mere 3 days later, ensnared once more by the inexorable coils of his circumstances, Shiratori was apprehended while attempting to pilfer supplies. The taste of liberation turned bitter as he found himself thrust back into the clutches of imprisonment. This time, the sentence pronounced upon him was more ominous. An eternity behind bars, a life sentence that eclipsed the flickering dreams of reuniting with his long-lost family. Chapter 3. A Descent into Hell. Transferred to the unforgiving confines of Akita prison amid the tumultuous tempest of World War II, Yoshie Shiratori's suffering morphed into a harrowing symphony of brutality. The guards, fueled by chilling tales of his audacious escapes, harbored an insatiable determination to shatter his spirit. Extreme manual labor, nights spent on frigid concrete floors, and the agonizing solitude of a specially crafted cell, its walls adorned with impossibly smooth copper, collectively became instruments of torment that battered him incessantly. Yet amidst the relentless onslaught, a surprising beacon of compassion emerged in the form of head guard Kobayashi. In the gloom of despair, Kobayashi's unexpected empathy glowed like a distant star, a glimmer of humanity in the otherwise dark abyss of Shiratori's existence. In the face of unspeakable cruelty, Shiratori clung to this thread of compassion, a fragile lifeline that whispered of a distant hope, a hope that one day, against all odds, he would emerge free from the clutches of his oppressors. Chapter 4. The Storm Within. Under the cloak of a stormy night in 1942, the confines of Shiratori's cell witnessed a vanishing act of extraordinary proportions. All that remained in the wake of his disappearance were the metallic echoes of abandoned handcuffs. Like a phantom, he ascended the copper walls with a laser-like agility, exploiting the vulnerabilities of his prison confines. The guards, their senses befuddled by the bewildering disappearance, were left grappling with an incredulous disbelief that permeated the very air. Yet the intoxicating taste of freedom proved to be as transient as the storm that birthed it. Captured once more a mere 3 days later, Shiratori's audacious escape attempts served only to seal his grim fate. A life sentence, a cold and unyielding decree, snuffed out the flickering dreams of family reunions, consigning them to the realm of distant and shattered fragments of a past he could no longer grasp. Chapter 5. Frozen Chains. The grim transfer to Abashiri prison, infamous for its bone-chilling temperatures, thrust Yoshie Shiratori into an entirely new realm of adversity. Handcuffed and shackled, he was callously cast into an open cell, a place where hope seemed to wither in the icy winds of despair. Abashiri prison, designed as an impregnable fortress, aimed to extinguish any flicker of escape that dared to manifest. Yet in the face of this daunting challenge, where others saw only the specter of impossibility, Shiratori discerned a landscape of untapped opportunity. In a strategic bid to outsmart the elusive escape artist, the guards devised what they believed to be an escape-proof cell. However, propelled by an amalgamation of unyielding strength, cunning intellect, and an innate resistance to the bone-penetrating cold, Shiratori defied their expectations, shattering the illusions of his captors. In the frigid confines of Abashiri prison, he turned the frozen miso soup into an unlikely ally, its corrosive nature becoming a silent architect of liberation, corroding restraints, and carving an unforeseen path toward the elusive realm of freedom. Chapter 6, A Desperate Climb. Enveloped by the serene expanse of snowy mountains, Shiratori found solace within the desolation of an abandoned mine. Nature became both his fortress and provider, affording him the sanctuary of solitude, shielded from the relentless gaze of authorities. However, as the winds of change whispered through the mountainous terrain, the allure of a shifting world drew him downward. Venturing from his mountain refuge, Shiratori descended to encounter a Japan transformed by the hands of its occupiers. The presence of American forces kindled an insatiable curiosity within him as he pondered the possibilities of a world redefined. His dreams, like flickering flames, harbored the hope that the change in power might grant him the elusive reprieve he sought, an erasure of his name from the ominous wanted list that had shadowed him for far too long. Chapter 7, The Officer's Kindness. As the year 1945 ushered in the end of the war, a seismic shift occurred in the stage of history. America assumed control, and within this new world order, Shiratori's elusive existence continued to unfold. Yet it wasn't until 1947 that a chance encounter with a policeman shattered the solitude that had become his companion. In an unexpected twist of fate, a simple act of kindness transpired, an exchange of shared cigarettes. This seemingly trivial gesture served as a catalyst, shattering the chains that had long encased Shiratori's heart. In a moment of vulnerability, he found himself unexpectedly confessing his true identity and the daring escapes that had come to define the chapters of his tumultuous life. Arrested once again, the narrative took an unforeseen turn as the High Court of Sapporo exhibited an extraordinary display of empathy, a departure from the harsh judgments of the past. Chapter 8, The Benevolent Captivity. Entrapped within the confines of Sapporo prison and placed under the relentless scrutiny of 24-hour surveillance, Shiratori embarked on a subtle yet audacious mission. His aim was not to orchestrate yet another daring escape, but to condition the guards into adopting a habit of looking upward. While the guards diligently scrutinized skylights and ceilings, unbeknownst to them, Shiratori toiled beneath the very floorboards that supported their watchful gaze. Night after night, he concealed his progress, patiently crafting a clandestine tunnel that would eventually lead him to freedom. In the year 1948, when the guards unveiled the emptiness of his cell, it stood as a silent testament to Shiratori's unparalleled ingenuity. However, in a surprising twist, escape was no longer his paramount objective. This time, the echoes of his endeavor resonated with a different melody, one of acceptance and redemption as he sought to reconcile with the confines of his own fate. Chapter 9, The End of the Odyssey. As the years passed, Shiratori's strength waned. In 1961, after enduring the cycle of capture and escape for decades, he was released on parole. Returning to Aomori, he reunited with his daughter, the last remnant of his fractured family. Yoshie Shiratori, once the infamous prison break magician, had become a symbol of the flaws within Japan's penitentiary system. Despite the notoriety, he found peace and acceptance, leaving behind the perpetual quest for escape. The tale of his odyssey echoed through Japan, a story of redemption born from the icy depths of imprisonment.